favorite treat is the cookies and cream milkshake.
Can you say your favorite fruit? My name is Lydia, and my favorite fruit is raspberries.
My name is David Burleson, and my favorite treat is a vanilla milkshake.
My name is Anna Burleson, and my favorite is a brownie with vanilla ice cream, but warmed brownie with.
Read it nice, loud and proud, crystal clearly.
Then the 11 disciples went to Galilee to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. Then Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age."
He wanted them to go and do things, right? Go and do it. Go and do it. Don't just sit. Don't just sit around and listen,
Okay.
right? And what about the word baptizing them? What about that word? What do you think that
Like-
means?
So they like kind of put them in the water for a few minutes, and then they put them out, and then they that's probably. But it has something to do with the church.
Yeah. Kind of like
Yeah.
we have baptisms at Summit at the beach, like that, right? For like a second, they go underwater, not a few minutes, right? For just a second. Yeah.
Is
Why-
it like that thing where you drink this juice in the cracker?
That's communion.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another big word too, communion. What is baptism to you, Lydia? Do you remember what baptism means?
What's it mean to go under the water? Is that similar to Jesus dying and then we come up?
Oh, is it like those games where you put apples inside water and then you have to dunk your head to get them?
Similar.
Okay.
So we go, when the person goes under the water, it's like when Jesus dies and goes into the tomb. And then when we come out of the water, it's like him being resurrected and being brought to new life.
Oh, it's like when you go to bed, you're inside the tomb, and when you wake up, you're not inside the tomb.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Who do you think he was asking to make a disciple? To make?
So he was asking his disciples to make disciples.
Oh, that's right. And he says of all nations. So, what are nations?
Of like, he means like all kinds of people.
Yeah. What are nations, Lydia?
Now we have like this big ground with grass, and I do cartwheels everywhere. I think it's that.
Why didn't Jesus go make his own disciples?
He did.
I mean, why didn't he go make more? What about if I show you how to tie your shoes?
I already noticed on my shoelaces. I did them right here.
But then when you can tie your shoes, then you can show more people how to tie your shoes.
I should tie my
You
shoelaces.
can tell Phil how to tie your shoes.
He doesn't have to tie shoelaces.
Alright, we've gotten off track, sorry.
That's a big word, the Great Commission. What does that word mean, commission?
Maybe commission means like you gather up people.
I think it's called like when Jesus calls his disciples to find more disciples and more disciples and more disciples and more disciples.
And more disciples and more disciples.
This was what he wanted them to do. It was so important. That's what he said after he rose again. So at the end of the passage, he says, "And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." Why do you think Jesus says that?
When you go to heaven, you're with God. When you're alive, you're with God. Every single time, anywhere you're with God. So, like when you're like in Universal and you're 6 years old, God's still with you.
true. And so he promises that he's going to stick with us and help us every step of the way, help us with, even when he gives us this big thing to do, this big task to do, he's going to help us,
In
right?
good times and in bad times.